This is real life.
My name is Jeremy Rodney Hall. I'm the director of photography.
I'm Zakia Alomari, and I'm the hair designer.
I'm Lena Morton, and I'm the production designer.
That's kind of what I like to write about. Like I said, I think it's achievement every day to be Black in this country and to go to sleep at 11:59 p.m. and wake up the next day and still be alive. Like, that should be applauded. You should get a gold star.
Alright, well, for me, of course, it started with reading the script. I felt like it was the most important thing to get a feel for each character because natural hair is so diverse, and it was more about like choosing styles that fit people than just choosing natural styles that looked good. And I also wanted to represent like the wide range of natural hair. So when I was going through the process, I opened a doc, I saved things that looked interesting to me, and then I like literally mapped out every episode and like, because I also had to worry about the changes that were going to happen from episode to episode, which is the most demanding part of it all. And so I was just like going through Instagram, finding things that look good to me, and also finding things that mesh well with the character, and also had to get in contact with each person to see what their hair type was like, because that also dictated what their hair was going to look like.
For me, it was production design, and it was actually a really new concept to me, but I didn't realize that I'd been doing some sort of production design in my day-to-day activities, and it's just like knowing how like a space reflects a person, and spaces are just so important. There's so many elements to a space that you don't even realize. So for me, it was just, I started with color and personality. So when I had the first like talk with Micah, we talked about the different personalities of the characters, and I was trying to bring your personality into the space so the spaces would reflect them without them actually being in there. So for some of the characters, we chose dominant colors. Like for Amber, her color was blue because just her character being an artsy individual, and she's so calm and grounded. I felt like blue was just like the color for her. And apart from that, the little elements make big changes. So small accent colors really did like change its space, and all in all, it's a great experience just like exploring space and seeing how space interacts with everything.
And for me, as the director of photography, it was considering how I could bring what I do with photography, because this is my first project working as a cinematographer, to life. So before I came here, I was experimenting a lot with lights and flash photography, which I don't usually do. I usually keep it pretty natural, but I knew I was going to be coming into this project trying to do something a bit different with my photography than I usually do. So before, I was asking the actors like what's their best size, keeping those things into consideration. Also with my lens choices, Michael likes to keep it very tight and specific onto their faces so that small gestures become more noticeable in the frame. And so that was very important for like the whole project, because we kept it very tight on people's faces, and just learning things on the job, like focus and making sure that you're not being too technical and probably going with the emotions of how people are feeling. And so instead of cutting away for certain shots, we decided to, like, if someone was crying, maybe I would move from further away to like towards their eyes to get that teardrop, and then move towards their hands if they're making a gesture of emotion and things like that. So kind of approaching cinematography from a very emotional perspective and not so technical.
So there were protests going on, and I was like at all of them. And you could find me in like any of the main gathering areas on campus any day of the week, like yelling about something and calling it a poem.
I'm most proud of the wash day scene just because of the way we lit it. It was challenging because the bathroom was very small, but it worked out really well because we got the water to show up on camera. It was blue. It just looked so beautiful. You really get the intimacy of what's going on with her hair being washed, and I think it shows so well and translates so well to one, how she's feeling as a person, just being blue, and then two, again, the emotion and intimacy of it being very close in on her, showing that vulnerable state of her washing her hair, being naked in the shower, and etc.
I'm most proud of my work with Tiffany because Amaya goes through so many hair changes, and like the big thing was making sure it looked like she was transitioning, and you know, and that's not like a pretty process. And I feel like being a hairstylist, your job is to make people look good, but like our job was to make her look real. And so, you know, that part was sort of stressful, but it was also really it was just a really fun process that I feel like brought out a lot of confidence in me. Like,
I guess for me, it was just transforming the same space multiple times. With Amaya's room, we had to make her room different all throughout the episodes by adding like different accents. And I think I'm most proud of probably Ember's room because it started out as just it was a lounge area, and we had to change it into a bedroom. And I think one thing that, I don't know if it's part of it, but one thing that I learned was just like utilizing like what is around you, like doing what you can with what you have. And I think we made it work, so I'm really proud about that.
I am Black, I will fight, I am for the people, but that's not really who I am, and I don't think that's how God created me to fight. And like, over the course of college, it's been a process of learning that like I don't have to be at every protest to be down for the cause and to be Black. Like, there are other ways that He's made me to work in this. I was doing the most as a freshman, and I had a come to Jesus moment at the very beginning of my sophomore year that kind of flipped my whole life around. I dropped like all the extra things I was doing, and I leaned into God. I joined a campus ministry. He led me to some awesome friends, and I just like.
With the spaces, I didn't notice how like critical like my eye was, because when we were doing simple things like putting posters up, I would like change it 5 times because I'm like, the composition doesn't look right. And this like takes me back to like drawing class, and things that you don't think necessarily like impact your work in the future, it really does. So a lot of the things I've learned from school, and also just like daily life, just like being a college student and being like, if I was Amaya, what would my dorm look like? And so just putting both like academic and real life experiences into the project, I think it really helped. And also just like gleaning energy from like the cast and the crew, I think that really helped.
when I do hair, it's mostly for fun because I feel like hair is your biggest expression, and I have a lot of hair, and I feel like it's the first thing that people really notice about me when they see me. Like right now it's straight, but when it's like curly, it's out there, it covers my face. Like people often see it before they see me, and like, you know, how I wear my hair dictates how people see me. So growing up, a lot of fun was in the expression with my hair, and I don't really get paid usually to do hair because I'll do it for friends, for family, and it'll just be fun to go and explore and try new things. And so this is the first time I'm ever really doing it for a project. But like, it was just like, this is also it's really creative. So it's the same thing I do at home when I go on YouTube and I look through videos and I see something that catches my eye and I want to try it out. Because many of the things I did, I had never done before. Like I've never did a braided bob. I never did the style that Taylor's wearing right now. But it was like really fun just to go through and get it started, like the same way I would at home on myself. Like you never know what it's gonna look like until you do it.
I do both music and photography, so before coming to work on this project, I was working on my album. Still working on the album. Hopefully by the time you guys see this, it will be out. Slaps. So that really informs the work I do with photography, for example, but also visually, because like usually from the moment I start making a song and I know that, okay, I'm gonna finish this, I immediately start getting visuals from it. So how that helped with this project is that, well, we play a lot of music on set. So there was this one song we kept playing is Jill Scott Comes to Light, and like it almost informed so much of like how I shot. Like I'm talking about, there was this one time we were shooting this scene with Amaya, I can't remember which one, but the song was playing and I literally was moving with the song in relation to how she was expressing herself emotionally. And I keep harping on the emotions, but I'm like very big on being aware of people's emotions at all times. And so that is also how I go about my photography. So being emotionally aware with the images I take, being emotionally aware with the music I make, and knowing what it's putting out, what it's taking back in, like the give and take of the emotions. And especially again, being first time DP and first time cinematographer, a big part of that was like experimenting, so trying different things that I haven't tried before and haven't done before, and that was really awesome to me. So I got to bring my photographs to life, so to speak, and got to bring my music to life.
Be alright.